We started with the fourth chapter of a book. Upper 2 Sundays ago, we did the first take in the fourth chapter. Today we're gonna do the second take, and we began to talk about confidence. Confidence. What does it mean, and how does it relate to the confidence game? What the confidence and the confidence game? How does it relate? What's the importance thereof? That's what we began to talk about 2 Sundays ago. Chapter 4 talks about the rope, which is pretty much the act of bearing or pulling the victim in. You've attracted the victim, you've made the victim interested in a con game. This is the part whereby you solidify, your control or your mesmerization of the victim, and that's where your confidence really comes to bear, in as it were, it's that place where you've hooked a fish with a rope. Think about fishing. You've hooked the fish with the hook. Now you're pulling the fish in, you're pulling the fish in. That's the archetype, of which the rope is as part of the process, the steps in the con game. There's a reason why we use the word confidence game. The grifter, without confidence cannot con you. The confidence bit is the way by which the grifter mesmerizes, or as it were, hypnotizes the victim. Those who fall into the con game, get hypnotized, as it were. That's what advertisement does, right? Subliminal advertisement, not just advertisement. The advertisements that take place today are based on the research, the understanding of the human mind. Whatever you talk to the conscious mind easily goes away, because that's the active mind. The conscious mind does not store things. A part of our mind that stores things is called our unconscious mind. And if anything gets in there, it's remembered for, if not forever, for a very long time. And that's a place where it affects our emotions, right? It affects our emotions, our willpower. So confidence is the act of going beyond our conscious mind to speak to our unconscious mind so that we can conquer or win the mind of our victim. Right. So, confidence, we, in a way, God has created us to be mesmerized by confidence. If you see someone that's confident about uh, what he or she is doing, we tend to gravitate towards that. We tend to stay away from the things that are not confident. We gravitate towards the things that are confident, things or persons that are sure of themselves. Again, that's probably why, good girls fall for bad boys, or or good boys fall for bad girls, because like they're confident in who they are. They're confident in what they do. And that's as a way of mesmerizing the average standard human being. It's because that's the way our mind works. And those that know about to use it against us. You know, you know, I'm not gonna say this. So so you have to be careful. The things that are shining, the things that are so confident, be careful, because the person that's doing that knows is doing could do it with the intent of entrapping you. The normal swindler uses that confidence to trap people. Not because what might be behind might be dead man's bone, but what they bring to us is that it's a bling bling, the bling bling. When what's the bling bling does not necessarily contain bling bling inside. They are like dead man's sepulcher, right? That is full of bones, even though the outside is painted white, right? So not everything that seems assured of itself, it's worth thrusting, because those that know and understand the human mind use that to entrap us, and it works. The only way you can save yourself is by knowing this, Therefore, then you don't just go with everything that looks sure, that looks firm. You ask the questions. Ask the questions. Where I'm going, is it the right path? It looks okay, but is it the right path? That's what the Berean Christians did. Everybody was excited about Paul. Everybody's following Paul. Paul, the apostle of Jesus Christ. He's a good talker. He's anointed, everything. But when they went to the Berean Christians, they checked. They didn't follow what every other person was doing. They didn't say, "Oh, Paul is this or Paul is that." Let's go check. Go check that what this man is talking about, is the truth. The way they treasure their eternity so much, they went back to check. And that's the same thing with Apollos. Apollos was a good talker. People followed Apollos, but were those husband and wife, Aquinas and whoever they were. But they saw that even though this guy was a good orator, was a good talker, right? He did not have the fullness of the knowledge, about Jesus Christ. He did not have the complete knowledge of Jesus Christ. So they took him aside. He was a good talker. People followed him, but he didn't have the fullness of the material to bless people. Right. So they took him aside and mentored him so that it could be more complete. It could be a complete blessing to people. Unfortunately, we don't have too many of those today to help these young ones. One small thing and they're jumping, they've started a church. Shallow people raising shallow followers. Right. Their followers cannot grow higher than them because they are limited. One small thing, they've started a church. Right. They've not gone through the rudiments of growth. They've not obtained depth in their life. Therefore they cannot raise people with depth. That's why we have a lot of adulteration of Christianity today, right? But you have to be careful because we have all of this around in the church, in the office, you know, eh, uh, people who pretend themselves to be leaders, but they have no depth inside of them. You have a lot of terrorists in positions. They've gained positions, by whatever means, and their insecurities then begin to show up. While they're in position, and they then become an oppressor to the people working under them. Right? They try to micromanage because they're not sure of themselves. They lack control in themselves, and that is what's making them to seek to want to control every little dot, right? Because of the weakness in themselves. Instead of them to address the weakness in themselves, they're becoming a terrorist to the people in their team, right? But enough of all of that. I'm going to bring up my my slides, and we'll just quickly run through talking about confidence, right? The confidence in the confidence game. We talked a bit about some of it 2 weeks ago. You can check the videos. We're just going to close it out talking about what it is, the pillars of confidence, and how to boost confidence in your life. All right. So that's the slide there. The four pillars of self-confidence. That's where we ended 2 weeks ago. Confidence is a skill that can be built, refined, and strengthened. It's not something that we're born with. It's something that we learn, we acquire, by going through life, right? It's nobody's born with confidence, right? We learn it. It's a skill. Confidence is a skill. It can be built, it can be refined, and it can be strengthened, right? Take for instance me. I've built confidence in doing this. I've even come here without. I built confidence in doing this because I've done it. This Saturday is going to be our fifth year doing this. We did the first one on the 21st, Saturday, 21st February 2021. So this Saturday, uh, 21st February will be 5 years doing this. So 5 years, I have confidence in doing it. I've done so many of it. Today we have about 4,000 videos on YouTube. I've done so many of this. It's becoming a second nature because there's still a lot for me to do. I won't say it has become. It is becoming second nature. Yet I can't afford to take it for granted. I keep on building myself. I keep on learning. I keep on growing just to become better and better and better. I don't take this for granted because I respect you. You know, if I'm going to put myself out there in public, I respect the people that come to listen to me, watch me. So I have to make sure that I have a good delivery to make it worth your while. So I don't take it for granted. I should spend the time to prepare to ensure that I have the right material to bless you. The intent of doing this is to be a blessing. It's not just come and take your time, waste your time, burn hours out. Yes, I come here and spend 1 hour doing this, but it's with the intent that it's impactful, right? So I'm continuously learning. I'm getting better. I'm getting better. I'm like Michelangelo, who on his dying bed said, "I'm still learning." That's what's going to happen to me on my dying bed. I'm still going to be learning. I'm still going to be growing. I'm still going to be developing. You know, I'm not going to give up and learn it, because the day I give up, I start going downhill, right? So confidence is a skill, that can be built, refined, and strengthened. I built it. All right, that's come. Don't let me steal the thunder. I was going to say something we'll say later, but it's something we can build. At least we can all agree on that. You can build it, you can refine what you have, and you can strengthen what you have. Right. So one of the ways you build confidence is, you know, you have to understand your strengths. You have to understand your weaknesses. You have to understand the opportunities. You have to understand the threats. Then you leverage on your strength, right? You leverage on your strength. Or you are not a fish trying to compete with a monkey on how to climb trees. No, you're a fish learning how to swim and swim better and better and better and better and better. You're a monkey learning how to climb better and better and better and better. The more you do it, the more confident you are, the more second nature it becomes to you, right? As a monkey, not as a monkey trying to swim, but a monkey climbing trees, as a fish swimming in water. Find your strength and leverage it, build on it, right? I'm a teacher, right? I know a lot of people come and want to do like me. Yeah, great. If you're a teacher and if this is the place for you, fine. If it's not, then go find something to do, right? I don't do this because someone else is doing it. I just do it because that's who I am, right? That's who I am. That's my gifting, right? That's my gifting, and I'm building it, I'm refining it, and I'm strengthening it. Right. So that's why that's one way of building confidence. I'm confident in this, the more I build it, the more I refine it, the more I strengthen it. The more I do this, every one that I do prepares me for the next one. The session we're having right now is a session that is helping me to build my confidence in speaking. It's helping me to refine my confidence in public speaking. It's helping me to strengthen my confidence in teaching. So the next time I have to do this, it becomes easier. I'm more confident to do it. If the next talk I'm going to have is going to be joined to what I'm doing right now, right? All that I'm saying right now is going to then become easier next time I say it, right? So when I'm leveraging on my strength, I'm as well exercising it. I'm practicing it, right? And that's what you find the footballers, right? They become better by practice. I used to give that example between Ronaldo and Nani all the time. Both of them for me were equal as at the time they came in into Man United. They both came in from the same club. Is it whichever one it is from Portugal? They came in. Sporting Lisbon, I believe that's where they both came in from. And they both came into Man U and they were pretty much the same in terms of what they could do. But Ronaldo went to notoriety, Nani did not, right? And it's all in the practice. They could do it, but one practiced more than the other. So one became more built, more refined, and more strengthened in what he did than the other one. We all know about the extras that Ronaldo put into his game, how he got to the training center earlier than every other person and stayed longer after every other person had left. And that will give you a result. That's an input. That's an input. For every sowing, there's a reaping. He sowed into his craft, and and he's well rewarded for it, right? So listening to Napoleon Hill over the week, and he was saying that self-focus is a weapon, right? Ronaldo focused on his craft, and he conquered his craft because of his focus, right? He did not focus on his weakness. He focused on his strength, and he continued to build it, to refine it, and to strengthen it, right? So that's important. James C. Collins was talking about uh, how to I forgot, in this book, Good to Great, it talks about three ways to decide what to do, right? One thing is what you're good at, what is needed, and what makes you money. Yeah, no, what you're good at, what you can do better than other people, and what you can make money from. And you do those circles, it tells you where to focus on, because it's not just about being good at it. You have to be desirable. You have to be desirable. You have to be able to differentiate yourself, amongst a lot, and it must be something then that rewards you, right? If it's your career, right? If it's just your calling, then really the money is secondary, or the tangible reward is secondary. Like, I don't do this for money. I'm not saying that once I become monetized by YouTube, I won't collect the money. I will surely do it. But that's not the reason I do it. If that was the reason I do it, I would have stopped. Right, a lot of top. It takes a lot of effort to do this, you know. But I do it because it's my passion. I do it because it's my calling. I do it because it's a place in which I have strength in. It's a place in which I would like to build and grow because it makes me fulfilled, right? But in summary, if you want to build strength in anything, if you want to build confidence in anything, don't go to the area of your weakness. Build strength in the area build confidence in the area of your strength. And that's what Peter Drucker teaches us also. Peter Drucker says we don't build excellence in the area of our weaknesses. We build excellence in our area of our strength, the things or places we're good in. You want to build excellence, you want to build confidence, focus, leverage your strength to do it, right? So that's one pillar of confidence, right? You leverage your strength, not your weakness, right?